Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Nerd Ledger. I'm Cage. That is Chair. Over there.
Chair, what's up?
Sup? Um, we're the Nerd Ledger. We talk about nerd shit. Today, we're going to talk about some news and Star Wars Visions. If you haven't watched Star Wars Visions, Season 3, and you don't want to be spoiled, then don't listen. Also, we cuss a lot, so fuck you. Um, Sorry if you're a child and just heard that. I didn't give you enough time between the warning and the cuss word. But there's a little explicit warning on the episode next to the title. It has a little E. So, you know, parents watch your children or something. Anyway, how's it going?
Well, I'm eating chocolate cake right now,
So pretty great.
so I really can't complain. I can't complain at all. No.
Uh, Excellent. Excellent. I'm not eating chocolate cake, but I do have a protein mocha with peppermint syrup in it. Sugar-free peppermint syrup. So,
Yep. Yep.
yummy stuff. Love me some peppermint. Love me some protein mochas. Not with, see, okay. This is off topic, but I'm going to bitch about it because I can. Starbucks came out with protein coffees recently, but they infuse their milk with whey protein, and it makes their coffees taste more bitter than they already taste. I like Starbucks in general because I get very sweet beverages from there. Like, if I was just getting black coffee, I probably wouldn't like it because they burn their coffee. And then when you add burnt tasting protein milk into it, it tastes really bad. So I was not a fan of their protein coffee at all. Dutch Bros protein coffee is excellent. So if you're looking for protein coffee, I'm telling you, Starbucks is not the way. Sure, you could add like the protein cold foam on top, and maybe that'll do something for you. I haven't tried the cold foam. All I know is the protein coffees are not good. Hate to break it to you. Anyway, yeah, I don't have any chocolate cake. It's a fact of life. I did eat some
I
brownies
do.
today because
I have chocolate cake.
I'm very happy for you. You know,
Thank you. Thank you.
I can hear the joy in your
Yeah.
voice. So
Yeah. No, it's a wonderful life. Like, guys, I don't just have like I have like a big ass cake that I went to the one time to the grocery store, right? And I usually get this cake by the slice, but they had the whole cake sitting right in front of me, and I have the house to myself, and I like to live in defiance of all of God's natural laws, and I just decided, you know what? I'm a man. Uh, I can afford it.
hmm
Um, I'm young. I'm healthy. I'm 30. I'm slightly balding,
oh
just a little
god,
bit, just a just a tiny bit, just a tiny amount. Um, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm just gonna get a whole chocolate cake, and so I bought the whole cake, and it was like a situation, like it was like an operation to get it home safely and store it properly, and man.
and you did it.
I don't know, like it's a mixed bag having a whole chocolate cake you're responsible for, man, because you gotta
Is
like
it?
eat the whole thing. You have to eat the whole thing. You're like
Sure.
responsible for eating the whole thing, right? And it's like a big responsibility to have, like, to know that you're gonna be eating this chocolate cake over the next like 3 or 4 or 5 business days, like, consuming pieces of chocolate, like unnecessarily large slices of the chocolate cake.
Well, I'm glad it lasts you that long because like it wouldn't last me that long. And then on day three, when I no longer have it, I'm gonna finish my dinner and I'm gonna be like, man, I would really like some dessert right now. Not necessarily dessert, just something sweet, right? And then I won't have any more cake, even though I don't really eat cake much. I like cookies more, but hey, for this example, we're using cake, and I'd just be disappointed because when I have good, delicious, fattening food around, I can't just leave it around, like I have to eat it as fast as I can.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I'm a stoner, so I understand that impulse as well. You're not a stoner, but
no,
you just have you
not.
have the same stoner impulses to just consume ravenously.
Yeah. I have the
Like the
American addiction of sugar running through my veins, so
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it is what it is.
That's why I love going to the movies, man. Popcorn, you get popcorn, you get Coke, like you got your sugar and you got your sugar and your salt right there. That's all you need, man.
Yeah.
Popcorn. I know you hate butter, but I love that butter
No, I
shit. It's
love butter.
pure.
What the hell,
Yeah.
bruh?
Oh, I thought I must be thinking of someone
You
else.
must be, because hey, when I get popcorn at the movie theaters, I tell them, "Can I get butter? And please load that bitch up," because
Dude,
I
I'm
want
thinking
them
about
to
that
know.
time my popcorn bucket spilled over on that one guy at the movie theater. You remember that shit? Oh my god,
Uh,
that was the most embarrassing moment, one of the most embarrassing moments of my life.
was that out by you or was that here?
That was here, dude. That was at your place. That's when I like
Oh,
at we were seeing Superman or something like that. My whole popcorn bucket, and it was like greasy, buttery popcorn. I had them layer it,
really?
and it was like a large. Yeah, and it tipped over on this dude next to us. It was like a
Hmm. I don't remember that.
yeah. It was really bad.
But obviously, it didn't end poorly. Like you didn't get beat up or anything. So
No,
you
no,
know,
but it was like
maybe
it
that guy was
sucked really
appreciative.
bad.
Maybe he couldn't afford popcorn and he was starving and he ran out of money. And his last money went to that ticket to see the movie. And you gifted him some popcorn.
Maybe,
Maybe.
maybe. Anyway, what's on the news?
Um. Well, before that, so I started watching some movies I never watched before.
Okay.
But because the new Predator movie looked good, I started there. And
Yeah.
so I watched the animated Predator cartoon that came out this year because apparently it's like first in the timeline or something. But it's not. It was pretty good. It was actually really good. So I watched that, and then I watched Prey, and that was really good. And then I rewatched the first Predator movie, and it was okay. I know people always say it's like the best one, but it was just okay. Arnold Schwarzenegger, he's cool, but the movie's just okay. And then I watched Predator 2, which I thought was better than Predator 1, but it was also just okay. And then I watched Alien, which was really cool.
Yeah, Aliens fun.
Yeah.
You'll love Aliens. Aliens isn't even a horror movie. It's more like sci-fi action movie.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't think it was horror at all. I thought it was just a fun sci-fi film. I thought the shots were really good. The visuals were great for 1976 or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it was just a really cool film. So I liked the Alien movie. And I'll continue to watch some of
Have you
those.
watched Aliens yet?
No, I only watched the
Alien
first
sequel?
Alien, just the
Yeah.
first one.
You'll really
So
love the next one. You'll love the next one. It's like a sci-fi action movie more than it is a horror movie or anything like that.
cool.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna be on a plane for 4 hours on Sunday. Um, but I only downloaded Lord of the Rings, so I won't. So I'll probably watch that on the plane. Um, you know, I'll finish about 1.5 per plane ride. So then, I'll finish the whole thing by the time I get home on Wednesday next week. So, but yeah, and it's not for fun. I'm not flying for fun. I'm flying for work. So
Well,
yeah, very exciting stuff. But yeah. Anyway, so
news. What's in the news? Yep.
So, Ryan Johnson was recently in the news because he was asked some questions. If you don't know, Ryan Johnson directed The Last Jedi, and a lot of people were really, really mad at Ryan Johnson. And they said he ruined Star Wars and he's awful. But Ryan Johnson also has done a lot of things people really like, including the Knives Out movies. He got to start where, I don't remember, Arrested Development or something. And he's doing other TV. I don't really know too much about him, to be honest, other than the Star Wars stuff and the Knives Out stuff. But he's in the news because, he was asked about, after The Last Jedi came out, it was reported pretty widely reported that he was going to do a sequel, not a sequel, a trilogy of Star Wars films. And so none of that has happened. And he was asked about, if the criticism from The Last Jedi is what put him off. And so he was participating in an interview at the Newport Beach Film Festival. During the conversation, Ryan Johnson discussed The Last Jedi and the split reaction between critics and fans. He was also hired to write and direct a separate Star Wars trilogy. However, the Knives Out filmmaker has not worked with Lucasfilm since The Last Jedi. When asked if the divisive response pushed him away from the Star Wars universe, he said, "No, not at all. In fact, it's the reason that I wanted to..." That doesn't make sense. That's the sentence. It's the reason that I wanted to. He said, "My overall experience was putting the movie out, and what you're talking about with fan feedback. I mean, first of all, I'm a lifelong Star Wars fan, so I know the deal. I know that Star Wars fans are passionate about this stuff. We love the stuff we love, we hate the stuff we hate, and we fight about it. And that's been happening since the original trilogy. Oh, don't you know it, Ryan Johnson? He mentioned how the Star Wars prequels also divided fans upon their release. The differing opinions are what makes Star Wars special. He said, the reality is Star Wars has always been something that has meant different things to different people, and I think that's part of the fun and the passion of it. As fans, it's arguing about it respectfully. And then he also said he's grateful to have made The Last Jedi. He said, it's been the most positive experience I've ever had with anything I've made in terms of interacting with people who've seen it. I came out at the other end of it loving Star Wars fandom more than I did even going into it. So Ryan Johnson's keeping a positive attitude, or he's a massive liar. But he's not wrong. I mean, Star Wars fans are notorious for being fickle, fighting, arguing. It's widely known, and we talk about it all the time, that George Lucas sold Star Wars to get away from all of the craziness with the fandom, and also to make $4 billion. So, what are your thoughts on Ryan Johnson's comments?
I don't even know if I should have any thoughts. It's just.
Would you have wanted to see a trilogy of Star Wars films done by Ryan Johnson?
Sure, more Star Wars stuff. I'm very simple.
Did you like The Last Jedi?
No.
Did it make you mad?
No. It didn't make me mad.
There you go.
It was just kind of mid, It was just kind of mid. Like, it was just like, all right. It wasn't as bad like as The Last Skywalker or whatever the fuck. That movie was really bad. Like,
Yeah.
That movie was terrible.
And the crazy thing is, you hear people talk about Rise of Skywalker as if it, like, tried to save things and, like, was a step back in the right direction. And it's just such a fucking clusterfuck. It's not good.
A clusterfuck of a movie, dude. Clusterfuck of a movie.
Yeah, there's
honestly,
no
like,
redeeming
the
part
worst,
of that movie.
Yeah, the worst out of all of them, I think, of that whole, like, we got the return of the, not Return of the Jedi. What is it? It's the name of the Rise of the Jedi.
The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi.
The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
And then we got, The Force Awakens is actually pretty hype. It was actually a really good, enjoyable movie. Everyone I talk to enjoys that movie. They don't have anything bad to say about it.
Well, I mean, people have the bad things people say are like criticisms. In my opinion, no offense to people who think this and repeat it as if it's a fact. People say, it's just A New Hope redone, which is a complete fucking lie. Like, if you have any form of critical thinking skills and any ability to analyze, film or literature, then you know what you're saying is patently false. That's the kind of thinking that would lead people to say Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone and Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets are the same exact film. They're not, but they have the same exact structure, so they must be the same, right? That follows the same exact pattern for those two books and two films exactly, so they're the same, right? Obviously they're not. They point in different directions, they present different things, the details are different. Oh, there's a desert planet in both. Okay, well then Return of the Jedi is also A New Hope remade, right? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Anyway.
Yeah, The Force Awakens is a pretty good movie. Maybe we'll go watch it again soon.
Yep. I think The Last Jedi, it tries something new that doesn't land with most people. It presents way more interesting ideas than, definitely than what The Rise of Skywalker does. But it does also, it kind of seals you in one direction that if they weren't going to follow through on in the last movie, maybe they should have not done. Because, you're kind of forced down this story of Kylo Ren once again making his decision that he's not going to be a good guy just to be redeemed at the very end of the next movie, which doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, he had the opportunity to be good after he killed Snoke. He chose not to be, right? And so it's the same with, like, Rey, right? Like, Rey and this idea of her being nobody which is a manipulation tactic that Kylo Ren's trying to use, is also where her strength comes from. It's a much more inspiring story of you don't need to come from a special place to be special. So I like those ideas, but then they just get undone. So it's like it makes The Last Jedi worse that The Rise of Skywalker exists. So
Yeah.
and it's really unfortunate.
Yeah, it is unfortunate that, the new Star Wars trilogy kind of was a shit show.
Yeah.
That it was poorly received, especially the last movie was just very poorly received. But it's also kind of, I guess, like in reverse. Like people hated the Phantom Menace for a long time, and now that movie's considered to be good. And I don't know if if the Last Jedi will ever be good. The Rise of Skywalker will ever be considered a good movie though, because it is like we said before. Like it starts off with them. I'm hyperspace skipping, and it goes from like it's just like a crackhead movie that just goes from like plot point to plot point as fast as possible. Like never hitting the brakes. There's never any classic Star Wars politics or anything like that. Like it's just all nonstop, like high octane sci-fi action the entire time with a bunch of one-liners nonstop.
Yeah, I think there are new wave fans that really like those movies, which is like more power to them. Maybe in 10 years it'll be something similar where people regard the sequel trilogy as a great thing, but to me it's different because the prequels, it took a while for people to appreciate them, but they're ultimately from the same conceptual mind as the original trilogy. And Revenge of the Sith allows you to tie the Revenge of the Sith also elevates the previous, like even though we can say Phantom Menace was just okay, it wasn't great and there's like bad parts of it, and Attack of the Clones is really cringy, there's some cool moments in it, but it's not a great movie. Revenge of the Sith makes the whole trilogy worth it,
Yeah.
Whereas with the sequels, The Rise of Skywalker just makes it all worse.
Yeah.
Like, it's like I never watched The Godfather, but or not The Godfather, The Sopranos. I never watched The Sopranos, but people say like the ending makes the whole show like you never want to rewatch it because of how it ends. I know you like the ending, but a lot of people didn't.
Yeah, well, in the end, it's hard to end a good thing. I think is the most important thing. Like people didn't like the Return of the Jedi at the time when it came out, right? Like it was actually very poorly received, right? Like it's just how do you end the good thing? It's really hard to do. You're not going to do it in a way that makes people make everyone satisfied.
Well, people hated Ewoks,
Yeah.
which became the subject of more discussion because what we're talking about later, Visions, also had some Ewoks in it, and people were real upset about Ewoks because people viewed Ewoks as some kind of Deus Machina meets, marketing and trying to sell toys to kids, which it's Star Wars. It's always been about selling toys to kids. So,
Yeah.
but yeah. In other news, Dwayne Johnson, speaking of Johnsons, we had Ryan Johnson, now we have Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, reflects on Black Adam, and he makes some comments about the DCU. So Black Adam star Dwayne Johnson has no hard feelings about being unable to change the hierarchy of the DC universe. In 2022, Johnson starred as the titular anti-hero who, in the DC Extended Universe movie, is freed from his earthly tomb 5,000 years after being bestowed with the almighty powers of the ancient gods. Ready to unleash his unique form of justice on the modern world, Black Adam's brute tactics attract the attention of the Justice Society. Despite successfully preventing the Justice Society from stopping his rampage, Black Adam finds himself teaming up with the superheroes to stop a force more powerful than Adam himself that threatens to destroy the world. Despite Johnson repeatedly stating that Black Adam will launch a new era of the DCEU, the superhero movie failed to move the needle, as its poor box office performance and critical reception meant that none of Johnson's plans would ultimately see fruition. This included a much-teased Superman Black Adam crossover movie, which the 2022 blockbuster set up by bringing back Henry Cavill as the Man of Steel. So what did Dwayne Johnson have to say about his time in the DCEU? In a new wide-ranging interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Johnson touched on his brief time in the DC Extended Universe, revealing, "I love making Black Adam. We had a great time. Loved creating those characters and introducing other characters as well in that universe. Had a great time." The actor also confirmed that there is no ill will between him and DC Studios, remarking, "Wish that universe well, and on to others." So yeah, that's what Dwayne Johnson had to say. For people who don't remember, The Rock pretty much took over DC, like to the point where he convinced them
he's gonna change the balance of power in the DCEU. Is about to shift forever. Like you know, it was like at the time, like Black Adam was like an event. It was like supposed to be an event that was supposed to shake up things in the DCEU, and it never. I don't.
That, and then he was going behind the scenes of DC, convincing them to bring back Henry Cavill, announcing that he would come back, you know, days before James Gunn announced that they would recast Superman, things like that. And so I think there are probably some hard feelings there between him and James Gunn, probably, because, you know, The Rock wanted to be the guy, I think, and everything he does, he wants to be the guy. So I don't know. There's also been reports, rumors, you know, of Warner Brothers either divesting or being sold or doing something, and a lot of people are thinking that it's going to get sold and James Gunn is going to get fired, and I don't know what the truth of any of that is. I haven't seen any like concrete reporting on it. I just see people who already have certain persuasions celebrating that the DC universe may be ending or recasting or something, but I don't see it happening, to be honest. So anyway, that's all the news, really.
Yeah, I just remember again the balance of power is I remember the media campaign on it because I'm such an Instagram pig. Like I remember just eating it all up all the time, like just seeing it all the time. You know, the balance of power is going to shift in the DCU. Like his whole social media, like it was just obsessed with like.
Yeah, he did a whole billboard or something like in Times Square, where like he had like a big screen that said the same thing. Crazy. So all right. On to Star Wars Visions. So I don't think we've ever talked about the previous seasons like that much.
No.
What's your general overall opinion
on Visions as a whole, or the season?
On Visions as a whole.
I think season 1 was really good. I think season 2 was like had a lot of claymation. It was a lot different. I think season 2 was a lot more. I don't know, just different. And I really like season 3 though. Season 3 seemed like more of what I liked from season 1. So
yeah, I think that's pretty accurate. So season 3, the first episode is the dual payback. So this is bringing back like the main Ronin from the very first episode of Visions ever. There are Ewoks in this. There's an at casino illegal gambling ring. There's all sorts of wacky things, but it's a pretty cool episode. It's pretty entertaining. It's very anime, like not only in the artistry, in the cinematography, but like what is it called? Like the Grand Master, like the Jedi who is like now a robot, kind of like his movements and teleportation shit, like that is classic anime to me.
Yeah.
We also had the Song of Four Wings. A princess turned rebel protects a child from the might of the Empire on a snowbound planet. This is the one with the little creature thing, right?
Yeah, the cute little creature. This one was very cute.
Yeah, the little force-sensitive creature. And she had like some droid that was antiquated, but, you know, was still pretty cool. And more AT-ATs just blowing shit up, being very powerful. So, very cute indeed. Episode 3 was The Ninth Jedi, Child of Hope. This episode, I think this character is also a returning character. Pursued by Jedi hunters and blasted adrift into space, Kara encounters a seemingly abandoned ship tended to by a mysterious droid. This droid was cute, but then it kept saying the same things over and over, and it got kind of annoying. The little droid fella.
I watched mine in Japanese, so everything sounded really badass. So maybe I didn't really
You can watch them
I
in
didn't.
Japanese?
Yeah, yeah, you can.
Oh. I didn't even know that was an option, to be honest.
Yeah, I watched
So,
mine in Japanese, so everything sounded super duper badass all the time.
so are
And
these dubbed or are these not like are these originally recorded in Japanese and then like dubbed by English or
I have no idea, to be honest with you.
they just record both and call it a
Yeah,
day? Okay.
yeah, I don't know. I just watched it in Japanese and everything sounded extra badass, even including the droid yapping. So I don't
Was
know
the
what to tell you.
droid yapping like did he sound like cool?
Yeah.
Huh. Because in the English he's like he sounds like this.
No, yeah, he sounded pretty nasally, but he's a droid, and I'm used to droids
Hmm.
and their annoying voices. C-3PO's voice is kind of annoying in its own ways.
Yeah, but he doesn't repeat the same things over and over again.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, art was also good there. I like the art style. Episode 4 was The Bounty Hunters. A rogue bounty hunter takes on a job for a shady industrialist that has unexpected consequences for her and her droid. So this is the one where the droid is bipolar, um, and she has to like this rich guy pays her to like go arrest some miscreants who are actually like former slaves that escaped.
Hmm.
Um, uh, Interesting conceptual episode. The art was good. The bipolar droid was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and I don't know. I mean, maybe there's some kind of social commentary on rich people or something. But yeah, what'd you think of that episode?
That was great. It was very anime. That droid was very
Yeah.
anime kind of character, so I really enjoyed it. Um, the fight sequences were badass. The character looked cool. Um,
Yeah. Um. Episode 5 was Yuko's Treasure. A sheltered orphan teams with a street rat kid to rescue his her droid caregiver, and find a long lost treasure. So this is the episode with the big bear that was a droid.
yep.
And yeah, it was very anime. um,
Yeah.
Especially the villain, like the dog hound guy, like
Yeah, the evil hound guy.
like in his acquaintances, but like the art style, even though like there were actual children in it, like the henchman of the wolf hound faced guy also looked like children to me, which is really
Hmm.
creepy. Like the Twilight girl. I don't know, but yeah, and then I liked the big creature that was chasing them down below the surface. I mean, they were on Tatooine, right? Is that Tatooine? I don't know. It looked like Tatooine. Pretty sure it was. They went down to the Dune Sea and dug under there, and then the treasure was just a house, like a bunker. Kind of weird, but yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, any
It
thought?
was like good. No, it was a good episode. I really like the animation style. This one was really unique, very
Yeah,
cartoony. Everyone looked great. The Twi'lek looked really interesting character design. I like the Twi'lek a lot. She's really, kind of like this anime babe, but also kind of like in a kid-friendly way. So, and
mm,
I just liked how her tentacles looked.
yeah,
Her Leku.
yeah. Okay, episode 6 was The Lost Ones. After assisting refugees escape a natural disaster, an incognito F is forced to confront the ghosts of her past when their refugee ship is intercepted by the Empire. This one was the Jedi girl whose dad said something to her, and then her master was a Jedi who had a really deep voice. I don't know if he had a deep voice in Japanese, but he had like white hair. Again, white-haired, cat-looking, attractive men in anime, classic. Um,
Hmm. This
And
episode is very anime for sure.
yeah, and I don't really remember the rest of the episode, but I remember those parts. It was pretty cool, I guess.
Yeah, it's a good. It's a good episode. Lots of anime action. Lots of dramatic things like that room he was in with the screens looked really cool.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's pretty dope stuff.
Yeah. Episode 7 was The Smuggler. Desperate for a quick payday, a smuggler takes a job to rescue a fugitive from the Empire. This is the one where, like, the Empire killed the royal family or something, and then, like, the prince is, like, disguised as, like, some homeless kid with his old lady caretaker who used to be a Jedi. And the smuggler is trying to help him get off the planet. But the kid, who's a prince, is way better at everything than she is, and she's kind of useless. So
Yep. Yeah, I was thinking that the whole time too. She's kind of useless, but she has a good heart, so I guess that's all they really need. They needed her ship.
not as good of a heart as the actual prince, who
Yeah.
is in hiding but reveals himself before the Empire to protect village people. So
Yep.
yeah. Episode 8 was The Bird of Paradise. After she is blinded in battle, a hot-headed Jedi Padawan must undergo a series of spiritual trials in order to overcome the temptation of the dark side. This episode was okay. I don't know, maybe I need to watch it in Japanese, because this Jedi lady, was annoying as fuck.
Hmm.
I don't know if she annoyed you, but she annoyed me.
No, in Japanese, she just sounded badass.
All right, well, in English, she was a whiny little bitch. So, I mean, the art style was cool. You know, she, yeah, I guess kind of like Luke a little bit. Like she had to like, well, maybe not at all like Luke, but she had to like kind of like get over herself in order to like finally escape this weird plane she was in. It was an okay episode. It was alright. I like the art. The girl annoyed me. That's about it.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty mid. And then we get on to probably the most interesting one of the season. It was like weird.
Episode
Yeah,
9 is called Black.
Yeah.
And the description is a psychedelic battle between past and present, light and dark, and life and death plays out in the haunted psyche of an Imperial stormtrooper who is on the cusp of defeat. This episode is trippy as fuck.
Yeah. It's basically this guy's like dying and like it's his last thoughts and like he's thinking about like the Empire and like everything going on.
Yeah.
And he's obviously like seeing the fall of the Empire. It's like weird what like seeing the fall of the Empire, but it's all done through like this really trippy, artistic, jazzy with jazz. It's set
Very
to,
jazz.
of course, it's set to a jazz soundtrack.
Yeah.
Of course, it has to be. And it's just really trippy, very intense graphic art style. It's not like at all like a normal episode at all. It doesn't follow any cohesive plot structure or anything like that.
No
all you
dialogue.
know is, like, yeah, no dialogue, just jazz playing the entire time while all this trippy art just kind of happens at you and you're just kind of consuming it by looking at it.
Yeah. And there's also, different story elements told with different colors, right? Like it's just really trippy. There's a lot going on, and if you're like distracted at all, you're going to just be lost. Like you really have to pay attention as this story kind of follows this stormtrooper who is about to die.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's pretty crazy. It wasn't one of the higher rated episodes of the season, like based on like fan voting, but I thought it was really interesting.
What's the most number one liked episode based on fan voting?
It is, I think, the very first episode.
Oh yeah.
That one, and then it's a tie between the one with the little mini robot who is annoying in English, and the smuggler. Those were tied for second. The Lost Ones with the white-haired master is next, and then everything else is pretty much lower than that. But yeah, it is probably like in the middle the last episode's probably like middle ranked.
Mm.
So, but yeah, I mean, nothing has terrible rankings, but nothing has great rankings either. Everything's kind of like meh. Like the best is 7.5 out of 10, and the worst is 6.4 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's
Yeah, it
just
was just
based on fan
cool.
voting.
It was just cool Star Wars stuff.
Yeah. But the best rated episodes are episode 1 of season 1 with 8.4, and then the Ninth Jedi, which is season 1, episode 5. So, yeah. 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 But yeah, I mean, Visions is cool. Like, it's just a cool thing, getting to see different art styles, um, getting to kind of like see different stories within Star Wars. I mean, they focus a lot in Visions on kyber crystals, like throughout for some reason. Like, I don't know why it's such a big part of their focus, but kyber crystals are like a big focus for them. Um, and yeah, I don't know. I think it's just interesting stuff that's happening, and it's one of those things where if you don't watch it, you don't really lose anything. You're not missing anything, but it's enjoyable for the most part, and just cool art, cool stuff
Mm.
happening, anime style Star Wars. Now, if they did an actual like, if they remade the original trilogy with Japanese voiceovers and Japanese art styles, that would be pretty fucking cool.
Yep.
I'd watch that.
Yep.
So, yeah. I don't know. What else? What else do you have to say about Star Wars Visions?
I'm glad it exists. It's cool Star Wars stuff. It's our Star Wars mixed with anime, both things I love very much so, and seeing them mixed together is pretty dope.
Yeah. Pretty.
That's like I keep it simple today. I don't know what else to say other than that. Like all these episodes are pretty dope. Like season 2 was a little bit different because I had a lot of claymation and more like Western studios, but season 3 was just a return to the anime roots, which is I think the original intention was that it's Star Wars but anime.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, Star
and
Wars
it's
lends itself to anime, right?
yeah, absolutely.
So,
It's very dramatic, over the top, like light good versus evil, light versus dark, set in this over the top universe where like very little needs to be explained and power scaling's over the top. Size means nothing to the Force. There's like and the Force Unleashed is canon. Star Killers ripping Star Destroyers out of the sky with the Force and stuff like that, and throwing them into other Star Destroyers and shit.
yeah.
In the books, Luke Skywalker becomes so overpowered, he's like literally just walking around with like freaking lightning like rolling off his chest because he's just so OP all the time, and he's just OP as fuck. And yeah, it's just cool, epic lightsaber battles, but anime. It's pretty dope to see.
Yeah. Yeah. We need more cool, epic lightsaber battles. We need more stuff set during like the height of the Jedi and cool lightsaber battles because we don't have enough of them.
Well, they canceled.
Well, they canceled the Acolyte because it was not great. Okay.
I know, but that's all. That's all we were getting.
and
So
and the lightsaber battles were also not great. I mean, the one where Kimmer or whatever is just slaughtering Jedi, that was pretty cool. But other than that, there wasn't they could have done a lot with that series that would just be like fucking cool. Cool shit. Even like Obi-Wan Kenobi, why were there not more cool lightsaber battles in that show? There was one. They could have done a lot of cool shit.
yeah, I don't know what to tell you.
It's okay. We're getting the Mandalorian and Grogu in May, okay? So we have something to look forward to.
We're gonna be seeing that in theaters together. That's gonna be a good one.
It's going to be a good one. Can't wait. Apparently Wonder Man comes out soon. I don't know if you know what Wonder Man is, but it's a Marvel thing. And I'm pretty sure it comes out on Disney Plus in like a week, but I don't actually know. So I haven't followed that one that closely. Wonder Man. January 27th. All right. Well, don't know what comes out in a week then. Something was supposed to come out soon. Anyway, that's it, I think.
Yep.
Well, I'm going to go make dinner because I'm hungry. Chair's going to probably eat more cake. And you guys who are listening can do whatever the fuck you want because it's your life and you're living it. So, anyway, thanks. Have a good one. Like, rate, comment, review, subscribe, click all the buttons. Bye.